Greg here, reviews for you. Alright, so I want to thank all my Patreons first off before we even get started. Thank y'all very much. We've got some cool stuff coming up. I'm getting ready to really work on my Patreon stuff. Be some really cool interactive things going on Patreon. But I promised y'all I would get into Colin Trevorrow and Kathleen Kennedy, and I'm about to get into it. You're going to get more insight into Kathleen Kennedy in this than you ever would have by listening to the show media, because she's not Aunt Kathy. She is Queen Bitch, and she is a yes person to the right people and a no person to any director. You know, you hire a director, you give them creative freedom. They're the ones making the movie, and they have a vision for how things go. Well, Kathleen Kennedy doesn't work that way. Now, I'm going to have to read this off to you because there's a lot of information in here, and then I'll give you my thoughts as we go along. So, to start off, during the making of Jurassic World, he focused a great deal of his creative energies on asserting his opinion. Now, we're talking about Colin Trevorrow, a movie producer who's worked with Kathleen Kennedy. I'm not going to say who it is. You can probably figure it out by the next sentence. Kennedy is looking for people who will play by the rules. Now, by play by the rules, that means make her movie. Take her ideas, put them in the movie. Take her agenda, put them in the movie. That is playing by the rules. A lot of these guys, still by the same director, a lot of these guys, Lord and Miller, Solo, Colin Trevorrow, we'll get more into that here in a minute, and they don't want to play by the rules. They want to do shit differently. And Kathleen Kennedy isn't going to fuck around with that. Direct quote. Well, I've pretty much got an idea of who said that, but this gives you a little bit more insight into your sweet little Aunt Kathy. She has to have her things on everything. She has to micromanage everything. You're the president of the fucking company. Alright? This is not the president of the company. I do not sit there and go to each employee and oversee everything that they do all day long and with my finger on it. They're given a job. They're capable of doing the job, otherwise I wouldn't hire them, and they're expected to finish the job. Predetermined set of rules, predetermined storyboards, predetermined story arc. How you get the job done, as long as you get it done on time, and you get it done on budget, me and you are cool. Not how this president works. Apparently, you can't go to the freaking bathroom if she doesn't want you to. Which would be fine with me. Just piss on the table. So, let me get more into this. This fits with information. The Hollywood Reporter earlier this week that Colin Trevorrow's relationship with Kathleen Kennedy became unmanageable prior to his firing. And I'll get more into why it's unmanageable. Because he actually has sense. There were also reportedly a lot of script issues on the movie, which is why screenwriter Jack Thorne was brought in August. Now, this was brought in by Lucasfilm. This was not brought in by Colin Trevorrow. His regular writing partner, everything was good. They told Lucasfilm what they wanted to do. They wrote a script. Lucasfilm was like, okay, well, it needs some tweaks because I need my frickin' agenda thrown up in there. Colin Trevorrow had to be, Colin Trevorrow was going to leave, but was talked out of leaving. He was going to leave right then because she wanted her agenda thrown into the movie. So they actually brought in writer Jack Thorne to put her agenda in the movie. His original writing partner is Derek Connolly, and they threw him to the wayside for Jack Thorne. This is Lucasfilm, not Trevorrow. Apparently how the draft was turning out was not what Kathleen Kennedy wanted. Of course it's not what Kathleen Kennedy wanted, because I'm going to get into what Colin Trevorrow wanted, and that's what we wanted. the new writer was brought in to polish Colin's script. Polish. In other words, sorry, he's doing too good of a job. We'll have to dumb him down. She's just kind of not as powerful as I want her to be. She needs to be able to fly now like Neo in the Matrix. So, it just didn't move the needle. It's a direct quote from the producer. Sounds very similar to what happened to Phil Lord and Chris Miller, the directors who were replaced on Han Solo. The reports that came out after their firing indicated that Lord and Miller were very much doing their own thing on set. This is what directors do. He'll go to sleep at night and he'll come up and thinking about the next scenes for the next day, the ones that are going to get shot, or he'll shoot the scene and look at it and go, I don't really like the way that's working. Hey, let's do this, because that's what a director does. Until he gets the shot that he wants, because he's the director. They have creative control. Not with Kathleen Kennedy, they don't. So we keep going through this, creative differences, and these producers are getting fired, and these directors are getting fired, and these directors are getting fired, and these directors are getting fired because creative differences. No, it's Kathleen Kennedy differences. If I give you 6 examples, and there's one common denominator between the 6, Occam's razor tells you, bam, the most obvious is the answer. Well, Kathleen Kennedy is the most obvious. So she's the actual answer. She's the problem. But I'll keep delving into this a little bit more, just so you'll know that she's the problem, and I don't just make shit up. Why? If I was putting stuff up there for clicks, everything would have a half-naked woman on it. Although I might put a half-naked woman on this one right here. But no, because that'd be Kathleen Kennedy. I'm not doing that. I wouldn't want that image in my head. God. Alright, so anyway, let me get back. Reports came out after the firing indicated Lord and Miller were very much doing their own thing on set, utilizing a lot of improvisation from the script. Lord and Miller expected to have a level of freedom on the project, just like every director would. And they clashed with Kathleen Kennedy often. Miller and Lord were stunned to find, this is in quotes now, Miller and Lord were stunned to find that they were not being granted freedom to run the production. Okay. A director is brought in to make a movie. And his vision is what makes the movie. There you go. Alright, if I'm in the middle of making something, I'm building a motor. I know exactly how I want to build it. I know exactly how much horsepower it should have when I get done. And I'm in the middle of building it, and I have somebody that comes in there and says, no, that's the wrong camshaft. You need to use a different camshaft. No, that's not how this shit works. If I put that one in there, I'm not going to have the RPM range, or I'm not going to have the torque at the right RPM. I'm not going to have it. But she doesn't know that because she's batshit crazy. I mean, what does George Lucas know about frickin' Star Wars? Really, seriously, honestly. What the hell does he know? I don't know. Maybe he's the one that fucking invented it. I would think he would know a little bit more than you do, Kathy. Go get me some coffee. Because I know that's what George said a lot. Go get me some coffee. 2 sugars and 2 creams. Anyway. So they balked at Kennedy's tight control on the set. A person with knowledge of the production said that the chemistry between the directors and Kennedy was never right. Of course, it's never right with anyone. The only one that it's ever been right with, and it's not right with J.J. Abrams either, he cannot stand Kathleen Kennedy. He does not want anything to do with this. He cannot stand being told what the hell to do. Just like any other director doesn't want to be told what to do. They have a creative side. But she gave Rian Johnson total creative control, a little bit of input, Mary Poppins, little Leia Poppins going through this, pulling a Superman in the middle of space and shit. That's Kathleen Kennedy right there. This is what she thinks of the Force and the fans. And she thinks that makes great cinema. There were people literally laughing out loud when that scene happened in the movie theater. They're not laughing because they were overjoyed and thrilled by it. laughing because they were thinking, what the hell just happened? This is Kathleen Kennedy. I'll go on. Yeah, there's more. So, we go back to Colin Trevorrow being interviewed. He says, do you think the reaction to the Book of Henry, which he did after Jurassic World, and in between writing for episode 9, he did the Book of Henry, which is for him. He did that project just for him. He was at home and he had the opportunity to do it in between projects, and he took the opportunity to do it. Whether it's good or bad or anything else, look at Ryan Johnson's damn Evil Demon Golf Ball from Hell. Okay, so he had that one he wanted to do, and he did it, and it sucked balls. But directors are creative, so he wanted to do this movie. This is a for him movie. Direct quote for him. This is just for me. So he says, this is Colin Trevorrow. You know, I don't know. I mean, I can't really speculate on it. And I mean, that was a very acidic situation. Every director who has worked at Lucasfilm put their heart and soul into the job, and they left it all on the field. And the bottom line here is that sometimes creative people can't find a shared path through the woods. So the next question was, there's now a long list of directors who've lost a Star Wars job. Colin says, I know all of them. They're friends of mine. I'm pretty sure they probably formed a damn supergroup by now. There's so damn many of them. I mean, hell, they could form a supergroup and start touring and just give out their freaking Star Wars Lucasfilm experiences. And man, they could make a freaking killing, more than they can directing damn movies. At this point, I mean, there's so damn many of them. Hell, I'd pay to see it. Give me some of the shit on the inside, you know, that you had to deal with. That'd be great. I'd freaking love that, especially coming from, 6 different directors. Because there was actually another director got fired from a Star Wars film that you don't even know was even... Oh, that's right. They didn't release that one in the media. And he was also released for creative differences. It was Jack Thorne. Just saying. Coincidence? I'm just saying. Just coincidence? Anyway, I know all of them. They're all friends of mine, and I was very close to them through all of their experiences. I'm pretty sure they had to damn get some kind of therapy and shit after working with Kathleen Kennedy. So I'm pretty sure they were all just calling each other for damn support. Like, damn, how do you deal with this woman? I don't know. And Star Wars is a very personal thing to all of them, to a lot of people. And there are some people out there, and I know folks might think we're crazy, but people like me, talking about himself, who actually believe that there is an all-powerful force that binds the galaxy together. And when you're one of those people, you're dealing with your belief system. Same way a real Star Wars fan does. You're not just dealing with a movie. And so, yeah, that is a very personal loss. I am not privy to his entire script. What I was told about Colin Trevorrow's script before it was to be polished was it was an actual Star Wars movie. It was an actual movie that we all would have went and seen. And SJW is alike. It wouldn't have been man heavy. It wasn't female heavy. It was true according to Star Wars. It was true to the fiction. It was true to the sci-fi fantasy that is Star Wars. Rey is still a powerful Jedi. The only difference is she's made to earn it. There's no internal messages on the inside of the movie. This would have been a good movie. But no, we got to throw that agenda in there. And Colin Trevorrow wasn't having shit. He wasn't having anything to do with it. So he had multiple fights with Kathleen Kennedy. And I do mean multiple fights. We're talking about where people at Lucasfilm could hear them having these fights inside of her office. And especially around the creative team. Where my buddy is from. And we are talking about yelling at the top of your lungs. Now, I mean, if I'm directing the movie, you've hired me to write it, you've hired me to direct it, you've given me the okay on the story arc that I want to present, you need to let this shit come to fruition. Plain and simple. But she wasn't going to have any of that shit. She was going to have another Rian Johnson movie. Yeah, well, we see where that got them. They realize the backlash is way bigger than they thought it was. And I mean, they know it's way bigger than they thought it was. We always knew it was huge. So, let me continue. So, this is the official statement that Lucasfilm released, which doesn't have any of this shit that I just mentioned in it. You know, it's so nice and official. Lucasfilm announced on Tuesday that it had mutually chosen to part ways with director Colin Trevorrow on Star Wars Episode 9. Colin has been a wonderful collaborator throughout the development process, but we have all come to the conclusion that our visions for the project differ. We wish Colin the best, and we'll be sharing more information about the film soon. He was a wonderful collaborator throughout the development process. He fought your ass tooth and nail. You know why? Because it's the right damn thing to do. Which is why your ass is getting fired right now. I would much rather see Colin Trevorrow's Episode 9 than I would J.J. Abrams' Episode 9. I'd like to see anybody's Episode 8 much rather than Rian Johnson's. Fuck, get Kevin Smith. Get Kevin Smith to direct that shit. You'll have a much different Episode 8, I'll guarantee you. Come on, Kev. Let's do it. I'm all for it. You give me the okay, and we're working on it. We're doing it. We already got a petition out there from one of the subs from change.org. There's a link on the last live stream. There's a link on the live stream before that, and I've already stuck it on Twitter, and it's been retweeted 100 and some odd times. So more and more people are signing it. More and more people are signing it every day. And come on, Kev, let's do it. Shit, direct it. To be honest with you, we're a hell of a lot easier to work with. The fans aren't the problem. Kathleen Kennedy is the problem. SJWs are a problem, but if you don't give them a platform, they have no say. Why don't you just make a film that has no agenda? Which is what Colin Trevorrow was going to do. But good for him that he left Lucasfilm, and good for him that he was going to leave after his writing partner got dismissed. Because they said, Lucasfilm officially didn't say this. Lucasfilm officially said he was sent back to rewrite the script. Okay, that's not what happened. What happened is his writer got canned. They put their writer in there, and still, because I'm sure Colin was like, no, I don't like that. No, I don't want that in the movie. No, I don't want that in the movie. Which is what a director should do. He should fight for his vision. You think George Lucas didn't fight for his vision? Hell, he put his own money up on Empire Strikes Back. His own money. You never put your own money up when you're making a movie. But he had the vision. And him writing the script and somebody else directing it is not going to come out the same. So what do you get when you get 3 different directors or 5 different directors and they're all fired for creative differences? You get a Kathleen Kennedy problem, and you wonder why Bob Iger doesn't like her. Ooh, that rhymed. I wonder if the SJWs are like that. Bob Iger doesn't like her. Anyway, that's Colin Trevorrow, and that's more insight into your Aunt Kathy, who's not the little sweetheart everybody thinks she is. And she is actually a foul-mouthed frickin' bitch. Just plain and simple. So anyway, I'm Craig. Reviews for you. Remember to hit that like button. Subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, hit the bell notifications. A lot of people aren't getting those. And that's all around YouTube. Share this video if you want to become a Patreon. Links down below. If you're looking for a nice looking t-shirt, Links down below. If you're not going to go see episode 9, definitely go to the link down below. And I'll see y'all in the next video. I am out of here.